So I'm making this video because I found very little information on this problem when I was trying to troubleshoot it. So I wanted to share the information that I figured out. So I have a 1993 Chevy G20 van with a 5.7 liter engine. The problem I was having was a crank, no start, no spark, no fuel. We're fortunate enough to find out that we're not going to have fuel if we don't have a spark. No spark doesn't tell the engine to engage the fuel pump. So our first scare that it might have been the computer was put to rest. So what we had was a crank, no start, no spark. So when you have a no start situation where you're trying to diagnose, it's going to be one of three problems. It's going to be air, fuel, or spark. So when we cranked the engine seemed to sound right. It was cranking strong. It didn't seem the battery was weak. It just wasn't churning over. So we actually narrowed it down to the spark situation. So could have been something inside the distributor or something to do with the ignition coil. We also for a moment thought that it might have something to do with the oil because I was burning a lot of oil and it was getting low. So we first started by replacing the oil pressure sensor, but that didn't do it. So the next thing that we did was we replaced the module, the ignition module, that's in the base of the distributor. That was a pretty simple thing. We didn't have to pull the distributor out to do it. We were just able to rebuild the top half of the distributor. So we switched that out. It didn't work. So then we replaced the ignition coil. That didn't seem to fix it. So the only thing that could have still been wrong was the pickup coil at the very base of the distributor. Now, in order to replace that part, you have to rebuild the entire distributor, find top dead center, pull your distributor out, and rebuild it. We decided to just go ahead and buy a new distributor. So we pulled out the old one, top dead center, put in a new distributor. Okay, now we couldn't figure out how the hell to get it started. So what we found out is right here. This is the most valuable part of this entire video. Right here is the disconnect to disconnect the computer from the engine. So once this is disconnected, the entire timing is regulated by the ignition module, the part that we had replaced previously at the base of the distributor. So then, at that point, we were able to set the timing pretty close, and I was able to drive 2 hours home and get it home to our driveway. Now at this point, we're gonna try to start it up and fine tune it that last little bit by ear. I have no idea how in the world you're supposed to see the timing light on this vehicle because it's behind the radiator and they don't make it very easy. So we're just gonna have to do it by ear. But so here we are. We've got the bolt loosened at the base of the distributor. And we're just going to turn it on and slowly try to get it to the right speed.
Pausing.